If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you running a business is tough. Don't let QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down anymore. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite gives you the visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Join the over 21,000 companies using NetSuite right now. Schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/C-suite. netsuite.com/C-suite.
Welcome back to the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and as always, I am here with the homie Kevin.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's going on? It's been such a long time since we've last seen you. How you doing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. So for those of you who are listening immediately, good to see you, or to have you guys hear us again, I suppose.
Yep.
And for everybody else,
I meant what I said. I see them. Anyways, yeah.
For everyone else, this is probably the first episode you listen to of the new year. So,
yeah, 2020.
welcome. Yes.
What's going on, homies?
And I guess technically we are closing out the old year, 2019, and introducing the new year with a new episode of Harley Quinn. That episode being episode 5, titled "Being Harley Quinn."
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And yep, so we are trucking right along through this season. How many episodes are in this season?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll look it up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, as of right now,
who knows?
There's 5.
Yeah. But yeah, guys. So we just finished watching the episode, and now we're here to talk about it. Kevin, what you think of this one?
So it wasn't my favorite episode that we've watched before because there have been so many that had me rolling on the ground laughing super hard.
Yeah.
But this episode was necessary to carry the plot of the show, and I loved where it goes, you know. So the reason why it's probably not my favorite, however, is probably because it didn't make me laugh as much. Mm-hmm. You know, either way, it's still a great episode. It's still a great show altogether. And episodes like this are going to be necessary in order to help carry your plot and kind of, you know, make a sensical run of a show, really, to tell your story. Exactly. What about you, dude?
Yeah, so I feel similar to how you feel. Like this episode, it wasn't like the funniest of the bunch, right. But I compare it to like this. Like for me, The Dark Knight Rises is my least favorite of the Dark Knight trilogy, but Rises to me is still a really great movie. Mm-hmm. So it's just the fact that it's great. It's just not as great as the other two that precedes it. Which, by the way, Dark Knight Rises was voted movie of the decade. So shout out to it.
Woo!
Yeah. But no, anyways, I kind of feel the same way with this Harley Quinn episode. I thought it was still a really great episode, mostly because, also like you said, it really is needed for Harley's growth. This was all about her growth and her rediscovery of herself and really understanding why she did the things that she's doing, and yeah, just learning more about herself. So, I mean, as far as like a singular episode, it wasn't my favorite, but as far as pushing the plot forward of this overarching story, it was pretty necessary for her.
Exactly. Yeah. And
you know, because
you can't be upset at that.
Yeah. Because, you know, I think one thing we talked about for last episode is how long can they keep up this whole thing about her being obsessed with crawling out of Joker's shadow by constantly being in his shadow. And I think that this episode is finally taking a good step forward for her being her own person. And
I will say that was one of my favorite parts of this episode because they do, spoiler alert, they do a hard showing. In fact, almost bragging that, okay, we've stepped officially away from the Joker. And they give you some great visuals, actually, doing the whole like symbolic representation of being inside Harley's mind the whole time. By the end of it, if you had the forethought to look at the background and the pictures and the, you know, the quote canvases of Harley's museum-based mind, then you'd see that there was no more fucking Joker. There was Harley. There was like images of herself being a badass, Harley and Poison Ivy, her best friend, obviously, but no Joker. Yeah. So like we were talking about, I think we're finally going to get that. I think these next few episodes are going to be Harley Quinn fully developing herself as a bona fide badass babe.
Yeah.
Yep. Alliteration.
So the episode starts off with Harley shopping for a lair, and I'd imagine that this would be more about Poison Ivy looking for a lair since she's getting
the new
evicted.
home. Yeah. Poison Ivy. I mean, yeah, that was her lair, but that was her home.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful apartment, dude. Natural light, all the plant life you could want. I mean, it was. I want an apartment like that.
Well, you might be able to get one from Frank. I mean, no, not Frank. Yeah. Is that the landlord's name? What's his name? Is it Frank?
Yeah, Frank.
I feel like I just made that up. I don't know.
No, I think you're right.
No, it was Frank. Frank's the houseplant.
No, Frank was a houseplant because they can't use the
yeah.
same name twice. Yeah. Although, realistically, there's no reason why you couldn't, but, you know.
That's true. I guess that guy just really looks like a Frank because that just came to mind out of nowhere.
He kind of does. He probably reminds us of someone who spoke just as much. I'm trying to find out the old guy's name, but yeah, I have no idea. So yeah.
Yeah, the landlord, he's kind of a mystery to me, and it's kind of bugging me at this point because I don't know if he's supposed to be a canonical character or if he's made for the show. I don't know what his deal is, except the fact that he's an eccentric old.
Oh, dude, Psy.
Psy?
S-Y. That's his name, Psy. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Oh my gosh. So his name's Psy. His last name is Borgman. His name is Cyborg Man. He's made for the show. He's not canonical for shit. And that's Jason Alexander, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, wow. Okay, cool. But yeah, man.
But yeah, so it starts off with Harley shopping for layers. And first we see a volcano layer with this poor asshole being dropped off in a volcano.
Yep.
We see her exploring like a mole tunnels. And then there's like a little department store mall tundra where Mr. Freeze was last the tenant there.
Yep.
And of course none of those really hit.
Was that a callback to the game? Because I feel like one of the video games had Mr. Freeze in a mall department store. I'm trying to remember that because we've seen that before. Be that the old animated cartoon, the video game, something has done that before. The comics, I mean, something. Damn,
it's possible.
I'm pretty confident in that. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my money in that pit and call it. But anyways, I will say this though, and speaking of the Mr. Freeze bit. There's obviously other examples that you are going to bring up here, but real quick, as I commonly do, I interrupt you with commentary. This was the most meta episode we've had yet.
Yes.
Which I didn't mind, but meta jokes can kind of wear themselves out, you know?
So
they can.
Yeah. The thing for me about meta jokes, and it's that they always walk a razor thin wire line with me.
Okay.
In the sense that they can either work or they can fucking fall flat. Like there's one point in the episode where they make a Deus Ex Machina reference and they say,
right,
we really need a Deus Ex Machina right now, and then they get one, and it's like, so
it's like it's funny, you chuckle at it, but then you go,
But it's like on the other hand, you pointing out that Deus Ex Machina doesn't deny the fact that you just blatantly put in a Deus Ex Machina,
right?
Yeah.
And maybe that is them just pulling their own leg,
and
showing off to us, like, we get it, we know what the fuck we did.
Yeah, and it's like for the sake of this show, I really don't mind it. You know, it's
right.
like it's like when Rick and Morty does something like that. It's like how serious are you going to take it?
Yeah,
It's
just comedy being comedy.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just the show making fun of itself.
Right.
It's only when shows that kind of try to take themselves too seriously and then they try to pull something like that, it's when I can't really get with it because you think you're being clever, but in certain cases it can just be lazy writing, you know?
Like, nope. Excuse me. I was about to just pull out an example needlessly. But never mind.
See, yeah.
Maybe not needlessly. You could argue that. But hey, either way, that's one example of like one of the more meta moments of this episode for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That one literally is like the defining moment for sure, though. Yeah, because that's... They caught themselves out. Yeah.
The other moment I think is shortly once they enter Harley's brain and they question like the logic of her being inside her own brain as well, and she's like, just ignore all the brain stuff for the next 20 minutes.
Basically, like she wasn't telling them that; she was telling that to us, to you, homie, as a watcher of the show. Yeah.
But yeah, so she's looking for a new lair, but nothing really sticks.
Right.
And it's at this point where the rest of the gang show up.
Also, real quick, how I know we talked about this a few times. I'm not sure how much you get about it. I'm sure you understand it, and you do get the reference. However, maybe not much of a fan as I am. But how Venture Brothers-esque was that? You know, oh, you can literally go shopping for a lair as if you're buying a fucking house. And this lady, this professionally dressed blonde woman, was just like, oh, here we have the nice little tunnels here under this beautiful scenic park. It's very a short commute to all the banks. Like, are you endorsing bank robbery? Or who the fuck is this woman? What is your company? But yeah, how Venture Brothers-esque was that, dude? Because that's Venture Brothers makes a corporation of heroes and villains.
I never watched much Venture Brothers, so I had to leave that one to you.
That was a very smart cartoon that I got into at a younger age, and they're still going apparently. It's just a very layered story, but it's pretty smart. I gotta say, you gotta sit with it for a while, but after doing that, you get the reward. It pays off. It's if you guys want a Kevin recommendation, that's one from me.
Hey.
There you go. But anyways, amongst all the other 1,000 things we recommended on this show.
But she gets a box of Suicide Squad shirts, which King Shark is glad to put on and put on everybody else.
Somehow he does it very smoothly.
He does. I actually really like the visual humor of him like draping a shirt over Poison Ivy as she's talking to her landlord, and as she's talking without blinking an eye, she just kind of slides it on as he's trying to
Look, I need this apartment real quick.
Right. She just slips her arms through. Yeah, it was just kind of funny.
Also, what shirts can you order only have dry clean only status on them? Like what even is that? Like, I mean, that's a picky shirt.
It is, and I think that more shirts than most people realize are technically dry clean only, but I think most people ignore that.
Or never even look at that and say, it's a brown shirt. Let me go wash it with all my other dark colored clothes. Yeah.
And then a dozen or so washes later, why is it so faded now? Or why is
why does it look permanently wrinkled? What the fuck is this? Like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep. But enough about dry cleaning.
How adult of me to point out, like how sad is it that my brain highlighted that sentence and said, "Oh, I gotta mention that." Anyways,
so it's at this point though where Harley, she has a mental breakdown. Which I guess before we get there, what you make of, if anything, about her saying that the Suicide Squad, they keep trying to get me to join? Did you were you getting or just like a throw-in joke? Or
I think it was a throw-in joke. It's pretty simple enough. I think it was. I'm gonna chalk it up as another one of those like potentially meta moments there, where it's just like, okay, this is a show putting itself in its own parking spot in what is already a well-known universe of DC and Harley Quinn factoids. So I was really comfortable with it. I kind of said, that's cute.
Right. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't realize how much I wanted to see that until they introduced it. And it's like, damn it, like that is kind of I'm not gonna call it a missed opportunity because they can still do it whenever they felt like it.
Right.
But it was like I really actually love to see a Suicide Squad show like this.
With this type of writing and nature, fuck yes.
That would be fucking phenomenal. Just have Amanda Waller and then like, god damn, I'm gonna blow all your heads off. All you fucking assholes. Like, that'd be great.
You know who I would want to be Amanda Waller? Regina King. We already have seen her having great acting chops recently. We obviously already know, thanks to Boondocks the cartoon show, that she has some dark comedy in her, man. Fuck yeah.
That'd be great.
That would be great.
Yes.
I could hear it. I could hear it now.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
Oh man, who would get to play Rick Flag?
Ooh. Give me a second to think on it. I'll come back at you with something good.
Yeah. But it was just fun to think about. Suicide Squad in the terms of this type of show and storytelling. But no, Harley has a mental breakdown. when her breakdown was interesting because she went fucking catatonic and stiff.
Yeah, dude, she paralyzed herself. It's like, how do you do that? That's really bad. Right. Yeah.
And then, of course, there's at this point where they go to Dr. Psycho, like, or Poison Ivy does, and like, hey, can you fix her? And he eventually begrudgingly agrees once he's called by like the proper name and verbiage. It's Dr. Psycho.
Oh, of course, yeah. He was all into that, yeah.
Everybody hold hands and clutch your butt cheeks.
I love that the show took the time to actually draw all the butt cheeks getting clenched. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I was like, what the shit?
Yep.
Yeah, and then after that, they are in the Museum of Memory of Harley Quinn. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they were right. It did look pretty nice and pristine for Harley's head. Yeah. At least that section did.
It did. It was clean. It was pretty straightforward. It wasn't as chaotic as one would imagine for such a crazy chick.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's at this point where Dr. Psycho kind of gives the rundown. I love how he says, it's hooker rules, and then Poison Ivy goes, oh, so no kissing. He goes, oh, no, I meant stripper rules, no touching. Like that was
no kissing on the mouth. Yeah. Oh, sorry, no stripper. I love how Poison Ivy was the first to call that out. You wonder what she's been up to in that apartment, man.
Oh man. But yeah, and then it's after that he basically says, yeah, no touching until he figures this shit out and he finds that metaphorical switch that will somehow work. Like Harley said, don't question the brain shit, just go with it. And it's after that she sees one of her memories, which is her origin of her falling into the vat of chemicals, in which she blames the Joker for it, but there's a missing part that doesn't show him pushing her in, and then she touches the memory, and that leads to a bunch of chaos.
By the way, earlier question, we were imagining who would be a good voice for Rick Flag. Jared Padalecki.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I'm done. That's what I was imagining for like the past 5 minutes. Like, who would be a good voice? I was like spinning my Tony Stark technology in my brain, just like flying through files. And it's like, oh, here we go. Yeah, no. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go back to it.
So at this point, all the little mini evil Harleys come out, and they first attack King Shark, beat the shit out of him. And
he didn't see it coming.
He did not. No, this little kid fucked him up quite nicely.
I love how the brain's defense was the younger version of itself, like it was the child. Yeah. Not a bunch of clone present day Harley Quinns or anything like that, but the children.
Yeah.
Which made for a fun factor. It definitely did.
Right.
That's not a flaw. That's not a complaint. That's just like oh fuck, all these little girls wearing tutus and Harley Quinn colors are just like really screwing with the whole team.
Yeah, why do you think they went with the younger Harley for that?
I don't know. It might have been easier. It might have just been the idea they had. Maybe they thought of like a bunch of Harley Quinns, but I don't know. Like I could see some potential mistakes happening there too, or some potential confusions for the story. So I think it was just easy. I think it worked because the brain was. We looked so much at the brain's like interpretation of the past that it makes sense for us to work with a past Harley Quinn to be like, quote, the police force for the brain.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, it makes sense in the long run, but yeah.
Would have been cool to see like Harley in the Jester outfit, it
would have been cool to see Harley at different ages defending herself. Like the child Harley, maybe a really like weirded out teenage Harley who was in juvie or something like that, wearing like the juvie clothes. And then of course, all the versions of Harley Quinn would be really cool too. Yeah.
I guess because like I think about Harley and why she's, or at least especially in the realms of this show, why she's so fucked up, and it all goes back to Harley. And of course, she seemed to be the most fucked up when she was like head over heels for Joker in the midst of her jester days. Yesterday jester days. And so it would have I don't know, I guess it would have felt fitting had she battled that version of herself that was just the most obsessed with what was poisoning her.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a cool concept they did here. All these little evil Harleys. But at this point, the little Harleys attack, and then they're able to flee into a mind elevator. And it's at this point where they take a trip to like the optic nerve, and they're able to view through the eyes of Harley. And then this is where Clayface drops the line, "Oh, this is like being John Malkovich now," which explains the name of the episode. There you have it, folks.
Yep.
And then this is at this point where they, along with us, learn that the fucking landlord, and I don't know who, I guess one of his connects, he calls up on the phone like fucking Pulp Fiction with Mr. Wolf. and this lady comes over and she's going to help him dispose of the body.
She tells him, "All right, Cy, you're 30 minutes away. I'll be there in 15. What the fuck? You are the wolf.
Right.
Comes up in a tux.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That would have been great. Yeah. But yeah, the whenever we visit the optic nerve here, that's kind of whenever we visit the B plot of this episode, which was fun. Yeah. It really was. It kind of gave us a little bit more of this homemade character cyborg man, excuse me, and his old friend. I don't remember her name either. No. I thought he said Black Mamba on the phone.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, he said Black Mamba. You're right. Yeah.
But that wasn't the Black Mamba I expected, right? I mean, right? When I hear that name, I'm thinking something else over here. But
yeah, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, but that's what we got. I mean, I guess they're just making up characters as much as they're using old ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, so their whole thing is they're going to burn all the bodies in the furnace and then cause what they called a Jewish fire, I believe,
or Jewish lightning.
Jewish lightning. That's it. Yeah. Which I was like, that's a little fucked up,
right? Yeah.
On multiple levels, but that's their plan. Meanwhile, back in Harley's subconscious, they go. Or back in Harley's mind, they take a trip to the subconscious, which is like a twisted carnival full of jokers and carnival rides.
Notice that wasn't clean. The subconscious is like the fucked up, like more honest part of yourself. True. Give me a sec. I'm going to impress myself in a second here. I'm going to try to remember all those psychology classes in college. Fuck. It's the Sid? No, the ego, superego, and the id. I think that's the id. I'm about to fact check myself. Bear with me, guys. Go ahead, do your thing. That's more important.
Okay.
This is about my pride, however. So
all right.
Okay.
I guess I'll be talking to the homies until Kevin gets this figured out.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now.
But okay, anyway, so it's in the subconscious where all the little Harleys jump out once again, and we get some pretty cool visuals here with King Shark biting a lot of these Harleys in half. We even get Clayface causing a bit of a distraction. They get their backs to a corner, and it's at this point where they literally call out for a Deus Ex Machina to save them. And it's at that point we get a mysterious cloaked kid who comes in and saves the day. Kevin, did you find your information?
I did find my information. You could tell by the face I just made.
Yeah.
But yeah, so essentially, I was right in a few ways. Essentially, so the id is like the primitive, like more natural urges of the mind, and the subconscious could be argued that it is the home of those natural urges. Things like your past relationship with Joker and your obsessions with him, etc. Shit like that. And then the super ego is like the moral conscious saying, no, you can't be with Joker. He's fucked up. You're escaping that. You're trying to be better. You're Harley, blah, blah, blah. And the ego is the in-between, is the reality. The fact check of both of them put together. Yeah. So, hey, Psych 101 from Kevin Keister. Excuse me.
Psych 101 from Google.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is, from Google. Anyways. Thanks, Google.
Yeah. It's at this point where the cloaked kid reveals himself to be Frankie Muniz, and I was like, really? What the fuck?
And Q had to remind me who Frankie was, because I was like, I know that name. Who is this kid? Wait, what? Malcolm? Yeah.
Oh, the kid from Malcolm in the Middle. I haven't seen him from much of anything since that show, really.
Yeah, me neither.
Like I saw him in one horror movie that was in like 2006 or so.
You remember the name of it?
Nope. It was like you play a video game, and it was something.
And it kills you.
Something like, I don't remember. It was something like that. I'm pretty sure. And he was in that. He died.
I remember there was one old horror movie where you played a video game and like a horror clown followed you around and like made you actually murder people the way you killed them in the game or something crazy like that. It was an old, really bad horror movie. But because it was so bad, it actually made it kind of fun to watch. But I digress.
Yeah. But apparently Harley had quite the crush on Frankie when she was a kid. To the point where we find out later that she had a restraining order put on her.
I mean, come on. Are you really living life until you have a restraining order put on you against like someone you want to admire so hard, you know?
That is very true.
Right? Like imagine one of your wrestling stars that you admired as a child, like one of your childhood heroes, like we just talked about. They put a restraining order on like child Q. Could you just imagine that? That'd be hilarious. You would have lived a chapter life many of us only fathom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think about, I forget the name of that crazy asshole. He was inspired by the movie Taxi.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That's all he had to say.
Right.
Fuck.
Not Arthur Fleck, someone else. But no, the guy.
Edward Norton.
The guy that tried to, he was obsessed with Jodie Foster and tried to kill the president for her. Yeah.
Oh shoot! Oh
I
yeah.
forget that guy's
I mean,
name.
yeah, we know all three names of his first, middle, and last.
But he's a psychopath, so we don't really need to give him any credit or any kind of admiration. But no, anyways, after that, what we get is she seized Repressed Memory Island, and I love the exchange between her and Poison Ivy, where she's like, I bet like my missing chunk of memory from my origin story is there, and then Poison Ivy's like, oh yeah, you think your memory's over there on Repressed Island? and the way that is said, it's like, are you being coy? Yeah, are you being really coy with her right now, or are you just deadpanning it? It was a great delivery, though.
I think it was such a great delivery, dude.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name. The actress is something Bell.
Was it Lake Bell? No.
Lake Bell. I think you're right. Okay. No, wait, that makes no sense. Lake Bell doesn't sound like a name. But
sounds like a lake.
I'll keep looking it up, but I will say, dude, Poison Ivy, this episode was another testimony of how great she is at just being a ride and die friend. Like, she's going to support you in making sure you are your best self, but she's also going to ride you too and say, okay, now wait, Harley Quinn, that's a bad idea. And she's going to be sarcastic with you when you're saying something obvious and dumb that you couldn't realize because you're stuck in your own head.
Yeah.
You know?
Literally.
Oh my gosh. I did not mean for that. I gave that to you, didn't I?
Yes, you did. I also enjoyed the tidbit where Poison Ivy's trying to convince the rest of the crew to help Harley out get to Repressed Island.
No, Lake Bell.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Excuse me.
And she's like, oh, come on, Dr. Psycho. Like, she took you in when literally the worst people on earth wouldn't take you. Come on, Clayface. When's the last time you had an acting gig? And you, King Shark, he's like, I'm in. And she's like, oh, thank God, I had nothing for you.
Exactly, yeah. It's like, we just met you, so right. I mean. Yep.
Because I was curious. I was like, what's she going to say about King Shark?
King Shark, yeah. Like, what she got on King Shark? Oh, she got nothing.
He's just happy to be there, man.
He's just happy. Like, I'm in. Time away from IT. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love how everybody in the crew played like a pivotal part for this thing to get pulled off. Yeah. You know, like Dr. Psycho was, of course, the brain guy who was able to understand and navigate through the maze of her brain. There was Clayface who turned himself into Frankie
Perfect
Muniz.
distraction, yeah.
Right. And
Shark was just like team defense, constant like eating. Oh god.
He was also the ride. Eating Harley. Yeah. He was also the ride to Repressed Island.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Poison Ivy was just the voice of reason in all of them. Yeah.
As she always is in the show.
As she always is. And I love that about her character.
Yeah. So they get to Repressed Island. It looks a lot like Arkham Asylum. And I love how Dr. Psycho tries to give us some exposition, but it's like, fucking no one's listening.
That's actually ironically really well used exposition. Like, because in the purpose of like a comedy genre, you're making a joke out of your exposition. So fuck yeah, good job, guys.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, fuck it. No one's listening. Dude, all the voice actors are being phenomenal for this show, man.
They're great.
You already knew Alan Tudyk would be.
Oh, yeah.
Who technically is both Clayface and Joker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he was busy. He's been busy.
Yeah.
But, and then, oh, fuck. Dadgummit. Dr. Psycho, Tony Hale.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been great. Dr. Psycho's been so much fun. Yeah.
He really has been a lot of fun. But then, of course, we get the repressed memory, the one that Harley's been looking for.
The origin story.
Yep, the origin story. And it's here where it's revealed that she willingly jumped in.
Who didn't see that coming? Oh, wait, literally all of us who know the story. So at this point, like, and maybe... Nah, I'm not going to layer that shit. That's unimportant to talk about. But yeah, no, dude, it was just fun kind of watching her realize herself. It was also kind of like, well, we know this. We already knew you jumped in willingly. You didn't get pushed for shit. But it was fun what they did with that, though, for the sake of this story and this episode, where they turned that into this whole, like, oh, wait, I did it, so I've always been in control. Oh, so I can regain control. Oh, well, fuck yeah, that's what I'm going to do then. I like what they did with it. They twisted it over on us very quickly, but it really worked, actually, for this episode, and especially for this genre of episode, right. You know, this Harley Quinn rough and tough rag team of people here, you know? I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. And it's at this point where she, I guess, metaphorically or mentally beats the shit out of the Joker. I guess it must have really been cathartic for her. And
it must have. And her version of Joker was just super confused. Like,
oh, yeah.
You can't change this. This is an origin story.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, but it's my origin story, so fuck you.
It's already happened.
Yeah. Which she's not wrong, but, you know,
technically
we
her
back.
thing she did also wasn't wrong either. Because remember episode 1 of this show, she blows up his base, and all that's left is him and the pool table.
Yeah,
and she just walks away with a bat. Yeah,
that too. And I was just gonna point out the fact that, like Harley said, just forget all the logic for the next 20 minutes of this episode.
Oh yeah, that too.
Oh,
forget all the brain stuff.
Yes. And I love how, like, once they get the repressed memory, and Harley gets her comeuppance, and she's able to overcome that repressed memory. They go to make their escape. They run into Clayface, and he's still alive and well. Turn himself into a mini Harley to escape. And then he all of a sudden he goes, "Oh, I'm getting hard," and everybody's like,
"Yeah,
oh, that shit was great." And then they're like, "Oh no, he's being put on fire because, of course,
right, he's getting dried out."
Yes,
yeah. I loved that delivery though.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting her hard, and everyone's like, "No, I'm not." Gosh, dude.
And like we pan back to Cy, the landlord, and Black Mamba, and it looked like of course Clayface was in there. It looked also like Dr. Psycho was in there too.
I don't think he was. I don't remember that. I might agree with you because it's just funny to think about. Yeah. Like, well, throw the small one in there first. He's easy. Right.
Yeah, like I had to go back and look, but it looked to me like Dr. Psycho was also in that fucking fire.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. But yeah, they come to and they're able to get out of the fire, and then they justly blame the landlord for trying to burn them alive. Even though it was funny when he first broke into the apartment and just saw them laying catatonic, blaming it on drugs.
Yep. It was also funny that this man didn't have a furnace, so he went to an abandoned mall,
right?
To an old pizza place where they actually had a furnace in a mall pizza store, by the way, right. Which is like really expensive for mall to want to rent out to someone. And use their furnace to burn bodies.
Well, I mean, like, no one's gonna check an old abandoned mall, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, technically, our town has one, and I don't know what the fuck we're doing with it. Yeah, so
I'd be willing to bet there's a bunch of hobos and ghosts.
Yeah, no, I got money in that on both. Yeah. That's double pot right there.
Yeah, but it's after this where Harley realizes that this place is a perfect lair for her and the crew. She's like, this is it. And they agree. Her inside the landlord agreed because I guess he fucking owns this too.
I guess he does.
Yeah.
Because at first I was just like, how is he gonna try to charge him shit? But then Harley's just like, no, I will pay you $1 a month.
Yeah. And you know this his price was like $100,000 a month. It was something ridiculous.
Right. He was about to. Well, I guess it is a mall, but still, it's like, no, we ain't paying that shit. Right. I'll rip your arm off.
Which, yeah, she did.
She did anyways. Because he's Cyborg Man.
But she or they agree under the condition that he wants to come with them on some of their heist. I guess maybe live out some of the good old days, whatever the fuck he did to lose an arm and a leg on opposite sides.
It's now he's an unofficial recruit for the team.
Yes.
He's on the Harley Quinn-ites. Do they have a team name yet?
I don't know. I guess they don't. Not, yeah. I guess if we're up to King Shark, they'd be Suicide Squad members.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's the episode.
Yeah, that is the episode.
Hopefully by next episode we get to see them kind of cleaning up the mall and making it their own some.
Right.
But we already got a preview for next episode, and maybe that is just not what happens.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about it. Like I can see definitely Poison Ivy sprucing it up in some way if she chose to with some, plant life.
I wonder if we get to see Frank again, dude. Like we have to see Frank again.
Right.
He has to come back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what this mall could have, dude? It could have a landing pad for Kite Man. I want to see Kite Man again, dude.
Yes.
I see him in some of the previews and all the lines I hear from him are from the past episodes. Mm-hmm. But I want to see him again, dude.
Yes.
Kite Man. Did you hear the whisper of Kite Man on the wind? Hell yeah. Right? They've done so great with him. This one and done nobody bullshitter and made him fascinating. His personality is just on point. Mm-hmm. All right.
Which I don't, not taking anything away from Tom King, who really put this man on the map.
He did.
Yeah.
He pushed him through the fucking door, and Kelly Kuko and the rest of the freaking producers for this show, Harley Quinn, are just pulling him along like a fucking kite in the wind. Yep.
But yeah, that was this episode. This was, like we said, it was a solid episode with a good premise, and it really provided some growth for Harley.
Yeah,
which we all needed to see her go through.
Yeah, I mean, ironically enough, this wasn't yours or my preferred episode amongst the ones we've seen already, but it seems that this is going to be the episode that's going to finally like stir in the ingredients we have been talking about for these past few Harley Quinn shorty episodes in regards to the idea that we need to step away from the Joker and have this be Harley Quinn's hour to shine.
Yes.
It feels like this is the episode where we had that hard turn away from that finally. So I think we're going to see the development we've been wanting, dude.
Yeah. And hopefully so. I mean, the preview for next episode looked to be more focused on Batman and Jim Gordon, I'm assuming.
In fact, I'm going to challenge next episode to not have the Joker at all.
Yeah.
I'll give him a silver place trophy if they only have the Joker in one scene.
Yeah.
But they win the gold if I don't see him at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess the real test would be if we can get an episode that doesn't have Joker or Batman in it.
I mean, you're asking for platinum now,
man.
I know.
You
gotta play the game to get platinum.
I hate to break it to Harley. Like, if you think you're in the shadow of the Joker, then there's a giant bat-sized shadow that's looming over the both of you.
Yeah, no, we already know that's not going to happen next episode. Yeah. By the way, guys, quick reminder: we're talking about next episode, which for us, we're going to be recording Friday. You guys will be getting more than likely, most of you will be receiving it Saturday early morning here. Just FYI, because we are switching our Harley Quinn shorty episodes, reviewing that TV show, to Friday nights now. Okay.
Absolutely.
Booyah.
Hell yeah. Booyah. So we will be coming back to Harley again really, really soon.
Really, really soon.
Yes. But also, guys, another really quick plug for our Patreon, patreon.com/superhero homies. If you guys go there, just in the month of January alone, we'll be doing The Grudge in just a couple of days here. The remake. We'll be covering The Witcher later on. We'll be covering Mandalorian. We'll be covering, actually, even, I think, at least 1 or 2 more movies this month. One of which being The Gentleman, and also Bad Boys 3. Yes. Hell yeah. It's going to be a fun month, guys. Yeah. Definitely sign up for Patreon. And if we haven't talked about it yet, that's going to be the ad-free site. Am I right? That is absolutely true. Yeah. For everybody who signs up for Patreon, whether it be our $1 account, which is primarily just for new movie reviews, or our $3 account, which applies to new movie reviews, video games, TV shows, or any other talking points. Either way, that is going to be ad free. Yes. And once again, at the beginning of the new year, there's going to be a point in January where we transition to a new podcasting network in which we will have some ads on our feed. But for those of you who sign up for Patreon, you guys want the Rory, you get the same quality content that you're getting here with no ads. And either way, it's going to be great shit. But hell yeah. So guys, definitely keep that in your thoughts. Keep that in your maybe or maybe nots to purchase and whatnot. Because with that, just know that you're supporting us. You're helping us to do a better job for you homies out there. Because that's exactly why we do this. We're joining up with this other company to help us better support the podcast and thus subsequently all of you homies out there. So please show your love and support. Show your brothers some love. We deeply appreciate all of you. Yes. Please know that. And once again, I want to shout out the homie Cody, who recently signed up for Patreon. I said I'd give him a shout out on the mainstream podcast. Cody, this is for you, brother, for signing up for Patreon. Thank you again, my friend. Hell yeah. You's a badass motherfucker. You is a badass motherfucker. I would say dink, that's worthy of a dink if you had any drink over there left. I'm just sipping on water now. But dink. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Dink. But yeah, shout out to you, my friend, and thank you again for signing up for Patreon. If any of you guys have any suggestions for Patreon, just hit us up and we'll be more than happy to oblige. Speaking of which, also later on this month, we have Dark Knight Metals that we're going to be covering. Yes, that has been a fascinating read. We are almost done reviewing it. For the homie who has requested that, you know who you are. But yeah, dude. For that one, it's going to be The Road to Metal, Dark Knight Metal, and also The Batman Who Laughs. We'll be primarily focusing on those 3. So Dark Knight Rising or Resistance, we won't focus on too much, maybe just a little bit, but primarily those 3 books. Right, exactly. So, yes. But yeah, guys, that's all I got. That's all we got for now, guys. We have a lot of cool shit coming up. So what are we going to do? We're slamming the gas pedal hard. We're putting the pedal to the metal for Daggum 2020, so come with us for the ride. Fuck New Year's resolutions. We always up in our game. Fuck yeah. But, hell yeah. That is going to be all for now, homies. But until next time, my name is Superhero Homie Q. And as always, I am Superhero Homie Kevin.